past 12 months, BYD has had a wave of launches. You've got the Seagull, you've got the Sea Lion 6, and way before that, the Atto 3. Now, while all of these cars are most definitely a lot of fun and technologically advanced, none of them is what you would call luxurious. To which BYD said, "Bring it on!"
Wow, Tito alert.
Seal.
Yeah, we got it. Sure.
Shut up. While the exterior alone is a story already, let's start with its size. We found out that the BYD Seal, all-wheel drive by the way, sits actually in size closer to that of a Camry than it would, let's say, a 3 Series from BMW or that an IS from Lexus. The size is something that you can see, but let me tell you a couple of things that you can't see on the Seal. Number one is the battery technology, which is Blade battery technology, proprietary of BYD. Excellent stuff. Number two is that this car sits on their e-Platform 3.0. And number three is how the batteries are now incorporated into the chassis, which in turn makes the car a lot more rigid. Underneath, you will find nothing, except maybe a frunk. But I can tell you what you will find underneath the car, which are two motors, which essentially power the front and rear wheels, making this an all-wheel drive. And all of those motors produce, get this, 523 horses, 670 Newton meters of torque attached to an 82 kilowatt hour battery, which means it's got a range of 580 kilometers and can do 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 3.8 seconds. Wanna see?
Drive, sport in 3, 2, 1.
Oh my God!
Whoa.
Okay, maybe not 100 kilometers per hour. This is a private subdivision after all. But I will tell you that the amount of horsepower inside this car is comparable to that of an M3 or even a Cayman GT4 RS. And then the torque is more than that of an F-150 in a car that makes just a whisper. Now, I'd be lying if the front didn't remind me something of a European car. It does, yeah, kinda. In any case, it does look absolutely great. You've got LEDs and DRLs up front. Very, very sleek. I like the way that it looks. The wheels are large, 19 inches, wrapped in 235/45 series tires. The wheels, really nothing to talk about, but the calipers inside are friggin' huge, man, both front and rear. The ground clearance is as you would expect of a sedan. You've got repeaters and cameras on your side mirror. You've got door handles that pop out when the car is unlocked, and then when you lock the car and you travel in, they flush into the door quite nicely. And then it's got this really, really slick back that I am most definitely starting to fall in love with. The rear lamp stretches the entire width of the car, which looks good, and your third brake light up here. It's subtle yet visible at the same time. Here, Earl, one more time. One more. Yeah, looks good. Thanks, Earl. The rear is quite stout, but don't get your hopes up if you're looking for something a little bit large inside because, well, it is powered. You're only looking at about 400 liters of space here at the back. The other 50 can be found at the front. I would have actually expected more, thinking that it might be Camry size, but then you do have to account for the second motor, which is for the rear wheels, so that maybe has brought it up quite a bit. And then to finish her off, down underneath, you've got diffusers that I'm not sure if it's an overkill yet or not, but it's working with me. Let's step inside. Now, it may look like a compact sedan outside, but inside it's quite spacious. Earl was the one that noticed this earlier, that while I was driving in my position, he was sitting here in the back, and just look at the amount of space that I have. The legroom is quite redonkulous, and the headroom it's unlimited. No, it is quite limited, but even with the glass panoramic roof up on top, which by the way doesn't seem to like bring the heat in, which is really amazing, is actually quite roomy. Putting a third passenger won't be an issue because there is no tunnel, and keeping everybody comfortable is you've got two air vents up front, which is quite nice. And then underneath that, you've got two USB charging points in the form of Type A and Type C. The seats are quite comfortable as well. You can't recline them, but they are quite comfortable and soft and somewhat supple, very forgiving. You've got a center armrest in the center with 2 cup holders. Yep, and something that I haven't said in a while, there are actually ISOFIX tethers inside this car. The amount of space is just really what gets me. And it's also got some swag too, because there's like nice suede on the doors. That's really pretty nifty. But what really gets me is the space back here, and it's quite comfortable. I like it. I may not even go up front. No, what am I kidding? Earl, get out of there. Excuse me. Ugh. Thank you very much. Okay, getting up front, there are some familiar things that you will see, like the instrument cluster is quite large and colored as well. You have a massive 15+ inch screen, which rotates, by the way. Yep, it does so vertically and horizontally. Odd thing though, it still doesn't allow you to work your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto vertically. It needs to be horizontal. Why? I no idea, but then that's, I guess, that's them. 2 beautiful large wireless charging pads. You got one there, and well, if I get Jack's phone, I'll put it there later. It does charge that too. So it's similar to that other BYD automobiles, but the big difference is just the opulence that you get inside this car, plus all the suede and the soft leather that you get, and a heads-up display too. That's pretty awesome. It feels quite comfortable in this car. Like I feel like a pilot inside this vehicle. And app too, since I've got a view of the sky. It's so amazing how there's really no heat or barely any heat coming from this glass. Earl, sige nga, put your butt cheek marks on this thing.
No, that's good. We're good. Cut. Boss's order.
Higher. Speaking of heat, there is two things that I found that I don't know if it's going to make or break other people. One is that the seats, although this is a more premium automobile, the seats are still one piece. You can't adjust the headrest, and that might take some getting accustomed to. The second is that this system is somewhat similar to that of a Tesla Model Y, which we've reviewed before. The links are somewhere down below, where there's a lot of functions that can be found in the screen that's a little bit annoying, like your immediate air controls and whatnot, and the fastest way to get around that would be the audio controls, or rather the voice controls. But even when it comes to adjusting the direction of the air, you can't do that manually. You gotta put it inside this system, and I'm just not too sure about that. Thanks a lot, Elon Musk. Now, while that is similar to that of the Tesla, what it doesn't share with the Tesla is the price, that's for sure. The BYD Seal all-wheel drive has an image price of 2.5 million Philippine pesos. Now, mind you, this is just the image price. But since we are launching this video today and this car is being launched today, we can now tell you its actual price, which is... Wow, those editors are really good. Find out more information about the Seal, or any car for that matter, by downloading our app, available on iOS and Android. And unlike any of the cars that we have on that platform, the app is absolutely free. Absolutely free. Oh, I didn't see that.
Seal the deal.